Hey guys, this is Abhishek from gadgetstudios.com, and today we are going to do a quick comparison of these two phones which are from Xiaomi. So we have the Xiaomi Mi 4i, which is a new flagship phone from them, and we have seen Xiaomi Mi 3, which was launched last year and then it was discontinued. As of now, the Xiaomi Mi 4i is kind of a replacement in the market for Mi 3, especially in that particular price segment. Xiaomi does not have any other phone, and Mi 4i is kind of a phone in which you get pretty good hardware specification and a very good camera and some other things as well. So we are going to compare this phone with the Mi 3. However, the Xiaomi Mi 3 is not yet available in the market, but I managed to get it from somewhere, and again you can always buy this phone from the gray market. You might be able to buy a second-hand version, or you might be able to buy it from China in case you want to buy the Mi 3. We are going to compare these two phones and we'll tell you which one is better, because they again come on the same price segment, which is 13,000 rupees. So 12,999 is the price for the Mi 4i, and approximately the same you pay for the Mi 3. So let's compare these two phones side by side and we will do a spec comparison. We will compare these devices on the basis of camera, display quality, build quality, the overall form factor, and the kind of value for money you get when you plan to buy any of these two phones. So let's start with the comparison, and the first thing which we are going to tell you is the build quality. So in terms of the build quality, as you can see, the Xiaomi Mi 3 is a pretty good phone. However, they have used plastic over there at the back, and on the edges as well we have plastic, which is kind of good but not that great as you see on the Xiaomi Mi 4i, because this device has got a pretty slim profile as compared to the Mi 3, which you can easily notice. And there is one more thing which you can always notice, which is the overall width of the device. So width of the device is always bigger over here as compared to the Mi 4i. So Xiaomi Mi 3 is definitely wider, it is thicker, and it is definitely a slightly heavy phone as compared to Mi 4i. This is 145 gram as compared to 130 grams. So with an upgrade over the Mi 4i, they have actually made sure that the phone is light enough and it does not feel that bulky as the Mi 3 was. One more difference which they have done is actually the bezel thickness. So you can see the bezel is pretty thick on the Mi 3, however it is not that thick on the Mi 4i. So this is something which they have done as a part of the design change. They had made sure that this time the bezel is not that thick as it was on the Mi 3 with the Mi 4i. Apart from this, you can also see the overall width of the bezel over there at the bottom as well as on the top is slightly less on the Mi 4i as compared to the Mi 3, which we have seen earlier. But in terms of hardware, both of these devices are good enough. Even when the Mi 3 is actually running on the Snapdragon 800, it is running the latest version of MIUI 6, and this is also running the latest version of MIUI 6, and both of these phones are pretty responsive and fluid, and I do not face any kind of issues with any of these two phones in terms of the overall UI response and the kind of day-to-day usage which I do. So I see them responsive most of the time without any issues. Both of them can actually handle the MIUI 6 pretty smoothly. Let's talk about some more things, which includes the overall hardware which you have on these two phones. So in terms of hardware, this device is having the Snapdragon 800 inside, which is kind of old hardware, and this is the Snapdragon 615, which supports 4G connectivity. So you have 4G connectivity support on this device, and this is a dual SIM phone compared to the Mi 3, which is actually a single SIM phone. So this is the difference in terms of connectivity. This one only supports 3G, whereas the Mi 4i supports 4G on both the SIM card slot, and it is a dual SIM phone. As far as Corning Gorilla Glass 3 is concerned, we do have Corning Gorilla Glass over there on the Mi 3, and we do have a protective glass over there on the Mi 4i as well. Talking about the rear, we have 13 megapixel rear cameras on both of these phones. We have dual LED flash over there, and we have dual LED true tone flash over there, which is kind of a different. This is the normal dual LED flash, but this is a true tone flash, which will make sure that you will take photos in low light with flash and they will come out to be good and should be better as compared to the Mi 3, and we will test that. We have a secondary microphone for noise cancellation on both of these two phones. On the top you have the SIM card tray slot, and it will accept a normal SIM size when it comes to the headphone jack. We have it on the top on both of these phones. On this side we have the SIM tray, which can actually take 2 SIM card inside on the Mi 4i. At the bottom you have the loudspeaker, which is actually a better placement, I would say, in terms of design, because when you have a loudspeaker on the edges, if you place it like this on a table, it does not get blocked, unlike the Mi 4i, which actually has the loudspeaker at the back side with the little engraved thing over there, which will make sure that the loudspeaker is not blocked completely, but it does get muffled when you place it like this on a table when you are watching a video, and that does not happen on the Mi 3. On this side we have the volume rocker and the power and save key on both of these phones, and again the overall feedback which I can see is slightly better over here on the Mi 3 as compared to the Mi 4i, and the overall quality of buttons is slightly better over here on the Mi 3 again. Let's take a look over the hardware configuration of these two phones and we will find out what all we have as far as hardware is concerned. On this one we have Snapdragon 800, which is clocked at 2.3 GHz, carry at 400 cores it is, which is slightly a better architecture, I would say, as compared to this one, which is the new Snapdragon 615 budget 4G chipset, which has a processor which is clocked at 1.7 GHz. So it is a quad-core 1.7 GHz processor, Cortex A53, and another quad-core 1.1 GHz, which is Cortex A53 again. So we have 8 cores on this device, which is Cortex A53, and on this one we have Snapdragon 800 and a quad-core 2.3 GHz, carry at 400 cores processor. We have Adreno 330 GPU on the Mi 3 as compared to the new GPU, which is the Adreno 405, which is also a good GPU, and we will see how does these phones actually fare on the basis of graphics and how they can actually give you the kind of benchmark figures. We will compare it with the actual scenario of running some games as well. Talking about the storage, let's take a look over the storage over here, storage information over there, and for that we need to go into settings on both of these two phones. So let me just go into settings and show you the advanced information as far as the storage is concerned. So we are under additional settings over here as well, storage, yeah. So we have 16 GB of storage on the Mi 4i, and out of that approximately 10 GB, 11 GB is something which you will get for the usage, and on this one we have again the 16 GB storage, out of which approximately 10.56 GB is available to the user, which is also a good thing. And again we have installed certain application data. So in terms of the storage available on these two phones, both of them come with 16 GB storage, and again when it comes with the SD card slot, there is no SD card slot over here on the Mi 4i, and when we talk about the Mi 3, there is no SD card slot over here as well. In terms of RAM, both of these phones are powered with 2 GB of RAM. So in terms of hardware, even when the Mi 3 is running on the old hardware, it actually comes very close to the Mi 4i. And in terms of heating is something which is kind of an issue for some people out there, especially with the Mi 4i. I would say it does not heat that much, especially when you use it in normal day-to-day usage. It won't go above 40 degrees, but when you play gaming or when you basically play games, high definition games like Asphalt 8, Blood and Glory, and some other graphic intensive game, then the device temperature can shoot up to more than 40 degrees as well. And when it comes to the Mi 3 does heat as well, but it is again not that much compared to the Mi 4i. This device is slightly cooler even when you play high definition games when you compare these two phones. Talking about the front camera on the Xiaomi Mi 3 is a 2 megapixel camera as compared to a 5 megapixel camera which we have on the Mi 4i. So let's compare these devices on the basis of some test. We will first of all do a camera test, and we will show you what all we have as far as the camera quality is concerned. We will take the photos of the same subjects over there in the same light conditions, and we will see which one is better. So let me just take a photo of this car over there first of all. And right now we are taking this photo in artificial light. Let me just disable the artificial light, and here it is. So I've taken both of these photos one by one, and both of these devices are right now in the auto mode. So the first photo from the Mi 4i and the second photo with light. So we have taken the photo on both of these two phones. Let me just show you these photos one by one. So this is the photo which we have taken without light on both of these phones, and as you can see, this is how it looks like on the Mi 3 and this is how it looks like on the Mi 4i. In terms of colors, I would say this one is slightly more closer to the colors of the actual car, which I can see with naked eyes, but in terms of details, both of them have captured this photo pretty nicely without any issues, and I can see things pretty clear, and colors are also very close to each other, but they are not the same. So that's how it is. Let me just take a look over the other photo which we have captured, and this is the one which has been taken with light, and this is the one which has been taken with light on the Mi 3. So in terms of the camera clarity, when you have good amount of light or some artificial light falling, then you get to see good amount of details over there on the Mi 4i as compared to the Mi 3, which is good but not great. However, this is better over here on the Mi 4 as compared to the kind of details I can see with the Mi 3 photo as far as the rear camera is concerned. So both of them are good enough as far as rear cameras are concerned. Color production is slightly better over here. This is something which I feel, especially when you take a photo from the rear camera. Let me just take a photo from the front camera as well, and this time I'm going to toggle to the front camera on both of these two devices, and I'm going to take a photo of mine. And it does take some time on the Mi 4i to actually toggle to the front camera. Let me just take a photo from the front camera on this one as well. So both of them have the face detection features. This is the same camera UI running on both of them, and this is how the photo actually look like as far as the front camera is concerned. So I would say this one is much more natural, the one which we have taken on the Mi 3 with the 2 megapixel camera, but it is not that good in terms of clarity. Once you zoom it, you can actually see the photo pixelated. Over here on the Mi 4, you can see the photo is looking good again, but I would say it is looking much more natural over there. This one is slightly beautified automatically, whereas this one is slightly natural, which I like as compared to this. Talking about the battery backup is slightly better over here on the Mi 3 as per my experience. I have used both of these phones during my review. So one thing which I can say about the Mi 3 is that it can give you more than 1 day of battery backup. Again, this could be because of the resolution, which is 720p as compared to the full high definition resolution which we have on the Mi 4i. So that is something which is kind of different. Otherwise, both of them has almost the same battery size. This is again slightly above 3000 milliampere hour, and this is also above 3000 milliampere hour. There is a very slight difference between the battery of these two phones. However, the battery can actually not come out from any of these two phones, so that makes it kind of difficult to repair. In case you face any battery issues, you will have to take it to the service center. You cannot replace the battery on your own. But in terms of the overall viewing angles are something which are better over here on both of these two phones, I would say, but slightly better on the Mi 4i, which has got an OGF display which is looking good from almost any angle, and this is something which I really like, and the display clarity is also good. So these were all the things which we wanted to mention as far as some similarities and differences which are there in between these two phones. In case you would like to take a decision which one to select, I would say both of them are good phones, but in case heating is a major problem for you and you play games a lot, then you can actually go for the Mi 3, which is going to be a slightly bulky phone, a slightly bigger phone, and it may be a thicker phone as well. Definitely it is a thicker phone as compared to the Mi 4i. So in case those things does not make much of a difference for you, then you can go for the Mi 3, and especially in case you are playing games, then you can go for this one as compared to this one, which is sleeker, which is slimmer, and again it is also kind of light and better to hold in one hand, and it also gives you a very nice grip when you hold the phone in hand. The camera performance is kind of similar on both of these two phones, so camera performance is good enough on both of them, so you don't have to worry about the camera when you compare these two devices. Battery backup is also same. Depending on your usage, you can actually get slightly more battery backup on the Mi 3 in case you are a basic to moderate user. So that's all from us as far as the quick hands-on comparison of the Xiaomi Mi 3 and the Mi 4i. Do let us know if you have any specific question for these two devices. We would love to help you. You can like this video if this video helped you by clicking the like button below. You can subscribe to our YouTube video channel for more videos like this by clicking the subscribe button below. Thanks for watching this video. This is Abhishek signing off. Thank you.